Today we're making a front flap fun fold card in 2 different sizes. Let's get into it. Hey crafty friends, today's video is extra special because I'm going to show you how to make a fun fold card 2 ways. One using imperial measurements for all my US crafters and one in metric for my international friends. We're using the absolutely dreamy Lavender Fairies basic paper pack and the Lavender Fairies regular paper pack, along with the Lavender Fairies embossed die cuts. And let me tell you, these fairies and florals are just magical. So let's jump in. So we're going to be making a front flap fun fold, which is this right here. This fun fold gives you an interactive flap that opens and reveals your sentiment or a sweet little scene inside. It's beginner friendly, but looks super impressive. And there's the A4 version. So we're going to make both of these today, and we're going to change up the elements a little bit. Okay, we're going to get started with our card bases. For our imperial measurements, you're going to need a standard A2 card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4.25. So I've already done that. And then I've tucked my parts and pieces on the inside of each card. So there is our card base. We have this strip of pattern paper is for the inside of the card. We're going to use that. And then I have another piece. This is from the pattern Lavender Fairies basic collection. It's 3x4. That's our 3x4 piece. Then we have our front flap, which is 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I've scored it at a 1/2 inch over on that side. That's our flap. And then our card front is just standard 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to make the imperial card first, and then we will make the metric version. Okay. So you want to go ahead and score and burnish your card front or card base. We're going to go ahead and score and burnish our little flap. And then we're going to take our 3 by 4 inch piece, and we are going to attach that to our flap. You can pick whichever side you want. Just want to give it a nice center margin. All right, so there's that. And then this piece we're going to use on the front of our card. And again, pick the side you want. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we are going to embellish them all at the same time. Okay, we're just doing our bases first. I'm going to go ahead and attach my little piece of pattern paper to the inside. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Now we're going to attach our little flap. We're going to flip it over. And we're going to add adhesive on the inside part. Go ahead and close our card front. We're going to take and attach this to the back of our card base. So we're just going to line it up right to that score line. And then we're going to fold it over. Okay. So I'm going to give that a good press so that everything will grab easy. There is our base of our card. So I'm going to move on to the metric version. Right, for our metric version, I'm using basic white cardstock from Paper Rose. I've already cut my parts and pieces, put them inside. This is a 14 by 8 centimeters by 21 centimeter piece of cardstock, and I've scored it at 10.5 centimeters. Standard cardstock for A4 people, or card base for A4 people. All right, our next piece is our pattern paper layer for the flap. And that's 7 centimeters by 10 centimeters. And I picked this pattern from the basic collection. I thought it was super cute with that little bunny. Our flap is 8.5 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters. And I scored it at 1 centimeter. So I'll go ahead and fold that over and burnish that. I do have a little scrap piece that was cut from our same pattern card front. That will go in the inside of our card. And then our card front is 10 centimeters by 14.3 centimeters. So we can go ahead and attach that down. So we'll go ahead and attach our piece of beautiful pattern paper. We'll attach our little piece for the inside. Just give it that little bit of a gap right there on the inside edges. We will attach our focal panel on the front. And we will line that up onto our little flap for the front of our card. All right, we're going to do that same thing. We're going to add adhesive to the inside of the flap. We're going to flip it over and add that adhesive to the inside. Then we're going to take our card base and line that up on that right before that score line. You don't want to go past your score line. Otherwise, it will be a little crazy. All right, so there is our fun flap for our international people. Now, let's do the fun part. Let's add the pretties. All right, I did go ahead and get our die cuts ready. I also picked out a couple of sentiments from the Lavender and Fairies regular paper pack. There are the little cut aparts. I chose those and just took and matted those in a thin basic white layer. And I'm just going to attach these straight down to our card. To add our little sentiments. And then our sentiment over here, we're going to pop on this side. All right. So we're going to add, we have a little fairy for each card. So we have to decide where we want our little fairies to be. We also have a dragonfly for each card and a butterfly for each card. I'm going to go ahead and dump those out so I can pick them up better. I also have one for the inside of each card. So we're probably going to use this one over here. And we'll use this little butterfly over here. And our little dragonfly. And then we'll use those on the insides of our card. Okay? I guess we could switch those. All right. Now, for our little embellishments, we're going to add those on with some foam squares. So I'm going to pop on our little butterfly here with a foam square. And then we have our little fairy. You could actually do it that way if you wanted to. We're going to go ahead and just attach her down without popping her up, since she is more on the back part of the flap. So we'll go ahead and just add her right there this time. And then we will pop up our little butterfly. I'm going to add a couple. That's our butterfly for the inside. Oh, well. So we'll pop him on the outside. And I'm going to pop him over here. Like he's flying up to our little scene. And then I'll pull another die cut for the inside. All right, for our little fairy on our other card, we will pop her up using some foam squares. And I know I will find my die cut that just went missing shortly. It's how it always works, y'all. I know how it is. All right, we've got our foam backings off of our little fairy. So we'll add her down. And then we will add our little butterfly. I'm going to use a small one for that. And I think I'm going to add it over that little butterfly right there. And then we will add our little dragonfly to the outside of our card. And I'm going to snip this off just a little bit for our little edge where I popped it out. I'm just going to trim that away. I kind of angle it like he's flying around that gate. And that can kind of help hold the flap together. There's my other little, see, I told y'all I'd find it. All right, for our flaps on our little embellishment for the inside, we're gonna add just one of our little dragonflies for each card. So there's our little embossed die cut for each card on the inside. Give this a little bit more of a burnish there. Now, we can step this up even more by adding some of our crystal clear embellishment mitts. So I'm gonna grab those and be right back. All right, I went ahead and grabbed our little embellishments. So we're gonna go ahead and add one to the body of this butterfly over here, and one to this flower. And we'll go ahead and add one. We're gonna add a couple down here as well. So let me pick those out. Boop. 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 And boop. So there's our embellishments for that card, our international card. We're going to add some to our imperial card. We'll add a one to our little butterfly, one to her little flower, and let's see, we will add 3 up at the top here. Pop on our little one for our flower and our one for our little butterfly body. Then let's get our gems for our top layer. So we're going to start in the center. I'm going to add that one right there. I'll add another one. And our last one. Move those out of the way. All right, so there is both of our cards today. And here are the 2 I previously made. Here's how they both turned out. Same design, but 2 different sizes to suit your stash and style. I love how versatile these products are, and the fairies really add that whimsical charm. If you like this video, you're probably going to like the one coming up right over there. I'll see you over there in that video. Bye, guys. Stay crafty. Love you.